This is the arena. This is the arena. This'll be the turn of the high score fastness, breaking down the meadow with the tactical rapidness, dropping combos like a bombshell in the tribal games. I'm the ultimate. Neon paint dripping. Yeah, we're locked in the interface. Spirit of the hunter, leave a mark in the digital space. Primal instincts, but the tech is the future core. We don't just play the game, yeah, we start the war.
Can you feel the haptics, the pulse in the wire? Shaman of the server setting pixels on fire. Level up the spirit, yeah, we're breaking the frame. One tribe, one vibe in the tribal games.
Welcome to the hub where the wild ones play, where the neon meets the dirt and the night meets day. Tribal game. Yeah, we hold the crown. Tribal game. We never touch the ground.
Psychedelic visions in a high-res dream. Master the mechanics, living out the dream.
Switching up the loadout, the shamanic strategist, crushing every leaderboard, the digital antagonist. Mapped to the rhythm of a ritual beat, from the jungle to the con, so we don't know defeat. Got the trophies in the stash, got the vision in the eyes. Watch the whole squad ascend to the skies. It's a glitch in the matrix, a bend in the soul. Total domination is the only goal.
Focus, breathe. The lobby is full.
Connect the code, activate the neon meets the dirt and the night meets day. Tribal game. Yeah, we hold the crown. Tribal game. We never touch the ground.
Psychedelic visions in the high-res dream. Master the mechanics, living out the dream. Register. The hub is waiting.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Nope.
The
I like it.
AI music generation stuff is getting more and more and more advanced, and it's, I don't know, when we first started making the songs and stuff like that and having a bit of fun, they were good, but you could tell that they were AI, but these are starting to blend really, really, really good. So,
Right.
yeah, we played around with a bunch of different versions. We went, we went full tribal mode. We added some game tech, like the the full tribal mode ones were very, very entertaining. So, yeah, we kind of had some fun with them. But nonetheless, welcome to Tiki Talks for the week. Obviously, we got some nice updates, both for the Seven Seas tribal games, Trip and Ape Tribe, the whole 9 yards, which will be fun, that we'll run over and cover. We've got, obviously, the famous farmer back in the chair. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Getting there. It's been a long week. For those who don't know as well, just to get prepared over the next couple of days, I am doing my semi-annual move to Spain. So for the next couple of days, it's packing up the apartment here, and on the 30th, we'll be relocating to Estepona in Spain, where I'll be for the next 6 months. So there'll be a couple of days of downtime, but I'll be on the phone as well to kind of cover everything. But other than that, a long week. Obviously, the dual frustrations. I know, Farmer, on your end, we were chatting about it the other day, and I'm sure, some of the other players in the space, other project founders and stuff like that. The crypto space is definitely a fun one at the moment. The Web3 gaming space is definitely a fun one. lot of frustrations over the performance of the markets and things like that. I think for me, the biggest one, I don't know if people caught the new head of Solana Foundation or whatever, putting out the post about how they're supporting, the growth of the Solana ecosystem, and it's all about supporting all of the various components of an ecosystem. And I see a bunch of KOLs blowing smoke and things like that, and I think she's missed the mark completely. I was having this discussion with someone else the other day. When we look back at the prime time of the NFT space, and I think this whole commentary that they're supporting the space is very highly inaccurate. Reason being, the narratives changed. So again, going back to that 2022, 2023, and even part of 2024 era, the entire narrative in the Solana space was about the benefits of digital asset ownership and asset ownership of, basically the holders and the consumers of the space. And that sort of narrative very highly supported the NFT space, the gaming space, the digital asset space. People had something to hold, and to be able to say that they owned it themselves. And what I want to say, ever since late 2024, early 2025, I don't know if people would agree, but I'm curious on people's opinions. I think the entire narrative changed to move away from the benefits of digital asset ownership and asset ownership in general using blockchain tech, to all of a sudden now becoming just a pure financial tool for financial remittance efficiency. And unfortunately, that's taken a lot of attention away from the NFT space, the Web3 space, gaming side. Other projects that had those things tied in, and it's put more focus onto financial tools, transfer tools, different protocols. Unfortunately, meme coin trading, which I think is the biggest cancer on the fucking space that has ever entered Solana, just pure liquidity extraction. But all that frustration and all the changes that's going up on the space, and I think that a big segment of the crypto space is getting left behind because there's just this big focus on hey, we want to power the financial institutions while the consumer side gets left behind. So, a lot of reflection.
I agree, and what it feels like is the marketing roadmap, shall we say, for meme coins just feels like it's being copied. In the hope that it picks up again, not necessarily meme coins, but just the manner in which meme coins went up. So the KOLs and the twisted, it just feels like it's just a vicious circle that goes round and round and round, and it ends up being looking into the past rather than the future. And I think as players, not necessarily people here, but we've seen it time and time again that it just ends up being exactly the same, where players look at in the space, they look at, back in 2021, 2022, my NFTs were worth X amount and they were earning me X amount. So those days have to come back. So you as founders fix it and do it and make the market do it. And it just doesn't work like that. I think when Solana started, and when, if we're talking about the absolute OGs of NFTs and the projects, the only reason they kind of worked was because of the community that they were in and the way that community would stick together. If we go right the way back to DeGod, whether you love them or hate them, they had a strong community and that they worked that way, and it wasn't necessarily down to the founders or the devs or anybody else to make things work. And I think we've lost that, if I'm being brutally honest. Not to say that everyone needs to go down the DeGods route, because they had their own problems as well. But yeah, I was messaging Riddick back and forth with just a loss of love for the space, and just seeing people in the space kind of biting at each other, and worst case trying to genuinely take liquidity, not even from the founders, because that would be bad enough, but just from their other players. It's almost a race to the bottom. And then move on to the next thing. It's very parasitic, which I got bored with.
Oh, hugely. And, touching on that one, because there's some people in the space, I've been in the NFT quote space since early 2022, but not, in the type of collections that was like Bored Ape Yacht Club, Trip and Ape Tribe back in its prime,
Yeah.
Day Gods when it launched, SMB and all that sort of stuff. But and this is just my personal opinion on it, but I think that this was the beginning of the downfall. Was January 19th, 2023. Magic Eden was the first marketplace to launch this feature, collection bids.
Yeah.
For me, that was the transition from a narrative of digital asset ownership into financial tools, and things became all about profit. Back prior to that, people actually took pride in trying to hunt down the NFTs that they found aesthetically pleasing, even paying insane premiums on them. And that specific NFT gave them exclusive access to a community. Now, whatever the value that the community provided, varied from project to project, or just even the exclusivity of being in, a tier one, NFT based project. But as soon as that feature was introduced and Tensor followed suit, then it became, hey, I'm going to put in a bid lower than the floor price and see how many NFTs people just sell because they want to exit quick, and then sell it under the floor. And just over time, and you can see it if you look back on the trend charts to that specific date, most of those projects started their downfall on that January 19th, 2023, when that feature was introduced, because again, it became less about organic collectability, and then all of a sudden more about, hey, how cheap can I get this to undercut everybody else? And you see that with scalpers now happening in, the Pokemon card segment. And, I see these on TikTok a lot where, the sneaker segment where, these guys are at trade shows going, oh, here's a $400 pair of shoes, lost sale. I'm going to offer you $200. And then they drop it to $350, and it just kind of dries everything down. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fun space. And I guess this kind of pre-intro to tonight's space, just chatting about this, kind of ties into obviously the announcement that we made with the 7 Seas. I'll cover that kind of more towards the end. I want to cover a few things for the other parts of the ecosystem space first before we get there. But this has been, decisions that we're making. Tribal Games, the gaming platform that we're developing, and the models that we're going to be using, the shift away from the reliance of tokens and NFTs within them. Or the way I kind of want to structure this, and this is methodology that's been developed from Farmer has had probably tens or even close to 100 hours of my voice notes going back and forth. Same with Lendy, Jen, MK, even from all the Booty Talks and Tiki Talks and Rum Diaries and all these different spaces that we do, taking in feedback from the community pretty much on a daily basis, trying to find that balance of what made NFTs great back in 2022, 2023. And it's not the price. That's a byproduct of the utility and the value that you're offering. And by value, it doesn't always have to always equal monetary value. Again, being part of a community where value is safe, having a utility, exclusivity to a membership and all that sort of stuff. So, all of that kind of comes together and what we're trying to build and accomplish here. And even if we don't scale to that number one place on the Magic Eden charts or the Tensor charts, even if they're still around or whatever, my goal with all of this is to be the one that outlasts all of them, or at the very least to be, the most stable throughout. So, all right. So, touching on the first one, what should we cover first? So we've got, we'll go on Tribal Games. So the website structure is filled. I'm going to give a little bit of alpha of what is kind of looking forward to come. We are going to run a pre-launch registration for a bit of fun. Basically, I don't know, a couple of weeks before the Game Hub goes live, we will have a pre-launch website. It is going to be email sign up. Now, the email we use goes through Dynamic, which is a wallet provider. Someone's mic's on there. Hang on. 2 seconds. There we go. We do go through Dynamics, so when you do sign up with email, you can connect with Google, connect with Apple, or just enter email manually and it'll have confirmation code and everything. It'll actually designate you a pre-allocated wallet. For me, this is the best way to try and onboard Web 2 users for ease of use. Now, with that, you can connect your other wallets through Dynamic. They're a tier 1 wallet provider. Most projects use either them or Web3 Auth. Web3 Auth is got more of a focus on the ETH side, whereas Dynamic has a much stronger focus on the Solana-based side. Now, with that pre-registration process, you will be required to enter a referral code. We will provide an initial. And then once you have created your account, which there's no cost, we have decided that, we see other people using this process and they have great success with the pre-registration. And as a part of the pre-registration, they have like an AI image that you upload your like profile picture or whatever, and it'll create, an identical design almost for everybody with the same facial features or whatever, that they can just share that picture on X. We wanted to bring the NFT nature back into it, so we figured that this is going to be the opportune time for us to launch the Tribal Babies. I don't know if that's going to be the official name, but people remember the Trippin' Baby Ape Tribe collection. I acquired their IP for the artwork, and I've been sitting on that looking for something to do. So you go through the pre-registration, you'll enter the referral code initial we provide. On completion of that, you'll be able to claim your free NFT, and you will also be given your own referral code, to which then you can post on socials and stuff like that. There is going to be a strong benefit for referral codes and stuff like that. This is to encourage people to start posting on socials that tie into the signups of every game. We will have a slide. I'll kind of run over the base structure of the games, but or I'll do that now so it kind of makes sense. The games that we're going to be launching, they're not going to be AAA games. We're not looking to make in-depth games that cost thousands of dollars a month in dev updates and thousands of dollars in maintenance. I'm looking at this to try and create a game hub that has a variety of games that are, the type of short, fun games. If you've got 5-10 minutes to spare throughout the day, I like to use this as an example. Games like chess, it's not going to be chess. It's going to be, fun games, even though I love chess. But those sort of games where you can log in once a day, a couple of minutes a day, play a couple of rounds, and you're good to go. Sign-up fees, there will be one for each game. 100% of the revenue gets split between, I think it's the math that we've got at the moment, and this is subject to change because we're just finalizing the model. 85% goes 100% into the staking pool. 5% will go to the referrer, so that's where the referral codes will come in. The more people that come in, you get referral bonuses there. 5% will go to the team to cover the work they do building, and then 5% goes to myself for the costs that I put up front in building these things to recuperate that. And once I've got that, then it goes directly into the staking pool. The games themselves will have no tokens, no NFTs to be able to play. There will be a free version to play. And then that fee covers the enablement of earnings. This is so people can jump in and test the game. We don't want to be one of those games that says, hey, you have no idea what the game is until you're actually in. We want to give people the opportunity to jump in, play the game, and if they want to enable the earning pool, then they pay their cheap fee. The reward structure that we do is because it's a closed game with no tokens, no NFTs. It's in-game currency only. People will have to use strategy to play, to set up their accounts, progress through the game in their own ways. And then every week we do a Solana distribution based on the rankings that people achieve throughout the week, with the yield that the 85% that goes into the pool produces, and basically create a fun, stable gaming experience where it's not even about the ROI. It's just for the fun, the community, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, lots of stuff coming with that. We're going to launch again probably in the next couple of weeks with that pre-registration period kind of starting. Again, there will be a holder role for the free NFT claim that people are able to obtain. And then our goal is to roll out one new game every month consistently, cheap turnover, fun, and just get people playing a catalog of games. There is a percentage of that goes into the reward pool for the Royal Academy, available in the 7 Seas, which all Trip and Ape holders and 7 Seas holders can stake in. So we're constantly building out the reward staking pool, and the yield gets rewarded to players based on that location. So we want to build value for our NFT holders, for our community, to give people a reason to keep and hold and retain them, to not only be a part of the community, but also provide a benefit and perk for... Miniclip was such a good site back in the day. Tribal games, that's coming up. Holders chat is also coming up very, very closely. We just finished setting that up and doing all of the testing. The devs took it online, so thank you for those who were able to sign in and kind of check it out while it was up. We have worked out something with Matrica for verification. So holders chat, for those who don't know what it is basically a WhatsApp version of, Web3, a Web3 version of WhatsApp. It's where you sign up via email. You can connect your account via Matrica. So there's, basically 100% security from our side. It will detect what NFTs that you have across whatever wallets you have connected. We will never have access to those wallets. We just receive the NFT data. And it will automatically add you to the chat groups of all of your NFT communities all in one space. So if you buy an NFT, it'll add you. If you sell an NFT, it'll remove you. So we're looking at launching that in May as well. So yeah, I mean, lots of kind of big changes there, or big releases looking forward to come. I did add for the tribal game community another perk tonight. I'll touch on that because it's an interesting one. My opinion on this, and again, I've talked about this with the team quite a bit over the past. In order for Web3 gaming to succeed, in order for Web3 communities to succeed, it's never about just one project. Everyone kind of has to band together and support other projects that are doing good in the space. Now, this project was initially introduced to me from Nemus from the communities, and I dismissed it immediately, going, you know what, I don't trust him. I don't trust anyone that isn't me, because I don't know the dynamics. But I gave it a test, just his benefit being a part of our community, and I got to say, they did surprise me with their gameplay loop. Now, their token hasn't gone live yet. They are doing a airdrop at the end of Season 3, but right now, the app is free to play. They do have like a premium pass option that lasts a couple of weeks. It's like 0.25 Solana, which is nothing, so I've got that. Playing Season 2, they had a 420 event. It is a game where the goal is to basically increase and grow a weed farm. I was lucky enough to get one of the Founders Club tickets, which enabled me to set up a club, which members join. I think they get bonus benefits or something. They haven't released what the specific perks are, so I've just launched that and set up within their platform. I provided the details and the perks for people to have a look at should they choose. We are getting members slowly joining and stuff like that, but their Season 3 will start tomorrow. Again, they have a 100% free play model, and the premium pass doesn't affect the free play. You still can obtain tokens and stuff for the airdrop in the free play. But yeah, it's just there as a fun community thing. Again, huge shout out to them for what they're doing. Again, I think the real test is when they actually launch their token to see how well they've balanced it. But in terms of the gameplay, they've done a very, very good job, in my opinion, on being able to hook people in with, minimal to kind of no risk in their gameplay, even if it's just for enjoyment. It's not a massive token sink where you have to keep buying tokens. You get to, everything's self-sustainable in the in-game currency that you earn to buy packs every day and progress. So I've, enjoyed it for 2 seasons. So yeah, shout out to them. If anyone's interested in having a go, information's in the perks channel. All benefits that I get out of it just get added to the reward pool for the community. So, I don't do these things for the returns. I do them for, to provide a bit of fun outside of our ecosystem for players and give packs. Packs that you open of different weed seeds. But yeah, just a bit of fun for the community outside of our ecosystem in itself. All right, now time for the juicy content. Obviously, yesterday we made a pretty big announcement for the 7 Seas. I was actually surprised that there wasn't more of a prepare for war. We're going after Riddick response from it because it was a pretty big announcement. But just to give everyone a quick recap, some of the changes that we've made. Booty is not going to be withdrawable from the game. We want to really lessen the reliance on the tokens. So no more booty withdrawals when it goes live. There will be a function in the in-game exchange here where you can use booty to buy gold at a 10-to-1 ratio. There will be no tax added for this. So, if you've got 1 million booty, you can buy 10 million gold or whatever it is. Again, we wanted to make I think it stems out to the biggest problem is we've got a dual token system. One is supposed to be a utility. One is supposed to be an extraction. But people were extracting both. And again, based on the situation in the market, Web3 and where the industry is going, and tying back into our intro there, it's just not entirely sustainable. We've kept it pretty stable for the last 2 years. But we're at that critical point where now we really want to push home into that yield reward through Royal Academy and use that as our reward mechanism for the 7 Seas, NFTs, and TAT as well. So with that change, we will be doing a forced claim on all hands on deck. Again, I don't want to keep everyone locked into something if they choose that they don't want to stay. So that will be done. There will also be some changes to the Royal Academy just to make it more fair for TAT holders as well to be able to stake in there if they don't want to play the rest of the game. I don't want to force people to play the rest of the game to be able to get similar rewards for the yield staking pool as all communities are contributing to it. We will be removing the 7-day lock. That was one. We made an additional change that kind of makes that irrelevant to have after some feedback, some very spirited discussion. And the biggest change is how we're going to run the new withdrawal system. We've always stuck with the 250, 550 booty withdrawal based on manual or automation, or the 10,000, 11,000 or whatever for gold. It's been very beneficial to smaller players, but a little bit of a disadvantage to the larger players. So now we're switching it to a percentage of holdings. So, if you've got, for example, 1 million gold, and you're doing a manual withdrawal, you'll be able to, it'll snapshot every day to 0.5%, which is 5,000 gold a day withdrawal. If you're using the automated withdrawal system, it'll be 1%, which will give you a 10,000 withdrawal limit, just to kind of give everyone a point of reference, but it's all in the announcement. We have also updated the auto withdrawal cost from 3 rum down to 1 with this change. Again, I'd rather have 200 people using 1 rum a day versus 3 and 50 people, and especially with the changes that kind of tie in. So, yeah, that'll all look at being released. One thing that I didn't include in the announcement, because we decided on it today, is we will be refunding all of the rum that was set up for the arena, or now named Brethren Court, and doing a forced claim of all NFTs. And we will be making it a cheap booty unlock cost, because we want everybody in the community to be able to jump in for a couple of bucks and all contribute in their own way, and then just earn some tokens just from being active in Discord. So that'll also be done this week. So that's the fun part of the conversation, is covering all of the updates that are going on in tribal games, the 7 Seas, and arena levels won't be reset, just the staking and the slots themselves for that specific location. Just to be specific, leaderboards are going to remain the same. I think people would be more pissed off that I reset the leaderboard on the arena / Brethren Court than the entire announcement from yesterday. But yeah, with all of that information, I wanted to make the announcement yesterday, give people time to digest, and it will still be treasury. Yeah, give people time to digest the information in preparation for tonight, and then spend the last half hour or so, however long it takes, just running over community questions, concerns, inputs, feedback that people may have on the entire system, just to make sure that everyone's at a full understanding of exactly kind of what's going on.
First question?
I have a question.
Shoot.
Oh, go ahead.
When the captains, pirate lords, or the kings or queens come out, will they be given level tokens or will they be given updated levels?
Of all hands on deck.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. I was just trying to piece together that. So the same as we did last time, because it's much easier to do this way. We'll probably just reward the level tokens, and you can use them as necessary. But don't hold me to that. That's up to the devs. Whatever's the easiest way to go. He may apply the levels directly to them. I just gave him free reign with that. So obviously, when we make these changes and these announcements and stuff, we make sure that it's also done efficiently from their end.
Do you have a rough time estimate?
This week.
Okay.
But once that's done, people can upgrade to Pirate Kings and Queens, put them back in. Obviously, when you burn a captain or a pirate lord, you get a refund on the level tokens that you can apply anyway to a king. So it gives people the opportunity to re-strategize and restructure exactly how they want to run things. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention too, we're also removing the 3-slot cap on Royal Academy as well.
For the withdrawal, is there still a fee for the 0.5 or a no fee for the 1% for the auto?
1 rum.
I know, but the withdrawal fee when the 10% or whatever it was.
That one, I will be honest, I haven't looked into. I know we haven't had one on there, but I'll probably keep it the same. But given that we're cheapening it down, we may use it as a burn mechanism. But actually, no, I'll say this. We won't have a tax on the automated withdrawal because our goal with this is, again, to remove the reliance on a token specifically. We want the token side to be more of a player-driven economy. And our focus, and this is a big part of the reason that we made the decision, is I want to put 100% of my focus into creating revenue streams to create value in the staking pool for all members of the 7 Seas and TAT. So that's my focus, and then the token's going to do what it's going to do. So basically, I hand over, limited full control over to the players for that. Aussie Matt, are you talking 50k treasure cost for Royal Academy or?
There you go. Fee change.
It is 50k gold per slot, which is a couple of bucks. Gold member, I assume all burning mechanism. Yeah, the burning mechanisms you get if it's got a legendary ship on it or mythic ship, whatever people want to call them, they will get that token back that they can apply to something else. And that applies on captain and pirate lord level. The other change too that we made was the upgradability. We removed it from Solana and put it straight into Booty as well. So if people want to upgrade their tats, they can do so. It's like 25,000 from initiate to shaman, even though in game it'll say pirate or captain to pirate lord, and then 100,000 from pirate lord to pirate king, which is equal, kind of similar value, give or take, to captains and stuff. But the way we've done Royal Academy, we don't want to force people to upgrade. It's equal tiers, so people can just stake their tats directly in Royal Academy and kind of go the way they want to go. All right. What else have people got for me? Jen, while I'm answering questions, do you want to do a couple of sneak peeks of the baby tats? We did a test generation of 500 just to kind of double check the artwork and the consistencies and stuff. So, oh, go remember, how's the little one since I stepped on her? I rolled over her with my office chair, my little puppy Poppy, and split the end of her tail, so she had to go in and be sedated and get stitches, and she's been in a cone all week. And then noticed a couple of days later she had looked like an infection in her back teeth. So back at the vet under anesthesia again, she had 5 of her puppy teeth that were stuck. So she had to get 5 teeth pulled. And the thing that looked like an infection was just like the skin of a fruit. No idea where she got it from, but it looked like a big pus ball. So she's had a tough week of, or a week and a bit of wearing the plastic cone and getting used to it with a sore tail, but yeah, coming out on the other end, she's getting better. But I definitely learned my lesson. I think I should wear the cone of shame when I move my office chair around. I'm being extra cautious of just double checking around me to make sure she's not under me, because she's tiny. I think 2.4 kilos for a little puppy is yeah, quite small.
Mm.
Yeah, until I do. Actually, surprisingly, Portugal is very, very cheap. For the 5 teeth to get pulled was like $62, including the anesthesia, and then to get the stitches in
Damn.
the tail was like 200 and something bucks. So very, very cheap.
$15,000 here in the US.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Yes, they have pet insurance here, so it gets I think like 80% of that cost back. Yeah, even in Australia, Aussie Matt, that's it's so expensive there as well for basic stuff. And this was emergency on a Sunday, I think, too. So, all right, who else has questions for me? Oh, the other thing too that I wanted to mention, if people are giving that cushy thing a go, the reason I added this to the announcement, they've got some really cool features. So if people find features on there that they want to see implemented in any of our games, please definitely let me know. Because yeah, they've got some cool stuff that I'm exploring on, kind of creating my own spin on. Yeah, waifu game.
Hey, Riddick, have you given any more thought about now that booty won't be withdrawable, so most likely it'll be like heavy loads of gold being sold. Have you given any thought to possibly adding like that liquidity pool to part of the game?
Uh the reason, so the obviously I withdrew some of the liquidity pool for testing. I wanted to see kind of how the volatility was with it. I will probably be designating that to the staking pool, because that drives the value of gold quite significantly. And again, that's where our goal for the ecosystem is. We can add the liquidity to gold, but extractors are going to extract. They'll find their ways, and I want to make sure that the community is treated fairly. So a big part of the reason for the booty change, and again, no hard feelings there to the people that did. They found a very good strategy. But when 5 people are responsible for 80% of the sell pressure, that's not the model that we kind of want to run with. So I actually said thank you to a few of those people for highlighting that, because again, like it is of great value to me. For again, I have one brain. I think of a lot of ways that people can break the system and things like that, and this one got past me. So yeah, well done for that. But again, rather than placing, because again, we know this, I can't think of a single token in the space that has remained at its same value. It's always going to be that fight for value decay. But by putting it into the staking pool for everyone that plays the game and the loop it's supposed to earn treasure, convert to gold, convert gold to gems to booty, and then burn booty through Royal Academy. That's a value that we can put there that never decays because we're rewarding the yield, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. It was just more so thinking that with the having like coming up, it's just another generation to get gold. You know what I mean? And it also gives us a use case for the rum that we earn monthly or weekly now. And it lessens your load with the liquidity that you provide. You know what I mean? If the players provide the liquidity for it, it's more of a community ran thing.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly it. Like, there's people, and I've had tickets about this that they're like, oh, I've got too much gold and things like that. And with the new 1%, 0.5% system, it's basically a 100-day withdrawal till empty, or a little bit more than that because of the kind of devaluation of holdings. But we kind of want gold just to be that peer-to-peer exchange. If someone wants to sell, let's say 50 million gold into the system and they do it all at once, well, great. People who are here to play the game pick it up as at a fraction of a cost and actually use it to play the game. To better position themselves to earn Solana and things like that. Now, I'm not naive in the sense, there will be, I think, some increased sell pressure at the beginning. I do expect for the token to drop, and that is what it is. But for the long term of the game and the way that the pool kind of grows, and as tokens get burned, the way that they're designed to get burned, it'll get soaked up pretty quick.
Oh, absolutely. All the more reason I think that like if you just added a liquidity farm to the game, I mean, like it benefits the players long term. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll put it this way: because booty is no longer withdrawable from the 7 Seas, and people are looking at it this way, that's going to increase the competition for Battleship because booty can still be farmed from there. So the more the cheaper gold gets, the more people burn it and convert it to booty, and then whether they sell booty on chain to people that use it in game or whatever, it's a self-complementary system. So it's funny when I was checking the fee burns and stuff like that for everything. This month's going to be a very big burn, especially those who went big on doing a couple of tats. I think 5 million booty already has been burned just from upgrading the tats. I don't know why
Yeah,
that NFT reminds me of Aussie Matt. I don't know if people would agree. But yeah, these are just some of the samples of. Again, these will be a free NFT claim from the pre-registration sign up, and again, they won't have any game utility or anything. They're just kind of community. Collect them. Do whatever. I anticipate if people want to sell them, they can. People set up multiple accounts and pre-register. They can just to claim a few. There will be a holder role associated with them. Just to have a bit of fun, and it's basically again one of those membership NFTs to our community. So again, hoping to have this one out within the next 2 weeks, give or take. Because ideally, as people know who have been in the ecosystem on the TAT side, TAT's birthday is May 24th, also my birthday. So I kind of want to try and launch Tribal Games and Holders Chat kind of around the day before that as a celebratory anniversary launch. But on that note, if there's any more last minute questions for Tribal Games, Triple Ape Tribe, the 7 Seas, Battleship, any of the games, any of the products that we've had, just for the purposes of the weekly space recording, throw them out now. Otherwise, I can wrap up the recording and then we can jump into, just some fun community night chat if people want to stick around, talk ecosystem, if people want to talk more about other things, they can. But yeah, throw out those questions now. Yeah, am I going to have a community drinking night for my birthday? I'll probably be offline for a week recovering from a hangover from having like 6 beers. I'm getting old. Hangovers are getting worse. All right. On that note, Farmer, any last minute things? Lendy, I see you jumped in as well. I didn't get to intro you, but if you guys have any statements that you want to wrap up with, or anyone else in the community that wants to give their final thoughts on anything, feel free to throw it in, and then I'll wrap up the recording for the week.
No, I think that the other thing I'd probably say is just touching on the changes, and there are big changes. Is these talks have been going on for what feels like forever, weekly. So it is the best chance for, if there's an issue, not happy with something, it doesn't even need to really attend and get on stage. It's the best time to, and with the greatest respect to you, to ask a question and hear the answer from the horse's mouth. So use the time. It doesn't have to be this week, but it could be next week. By all means, I know there's talking chats and all the rest of it, but it is the best time of the week to get questions asked and even potentially get debates going and what have you. So yeah, that's the only thing I'd probably have to say.
And I can say this is the 105th space that we've done in 106 weeks. We would have a perfect record if it wasn't for that fucking blackout in Portugal where I couldn't log online for like a day and a half for the space. But yeah, 105 weeks of consecutive spaces, or with one day missed. We want to make sure that everyone knows the community always has a voice. They always have access to me or anyone else in the team. They always have a platform where they can bring up questions and ask. Again, none of this shit's scripted. I hate that with other spaces of different communities. Ask the questions that you want to ask. You'll get live answers. If I know, I know. If I don't, I'm going to tell you I don't know, and I'll get the answers and updates at a later point. But yeah, that's if there's any last minute questions. Lendy, I saw you were about to speak too, so I won't end it until you're able to throw down.
No, I don't have much to say. I know I've missed a bunch of weeks. Had a lot of life going on, but uh, keep the changes coming. We'll keep punching holes in the ship, and I don't think it's gonna sink. So I'm game looping. I love the loop. I love it. It's fun. It makes sense. It's sustainable. I love me some rum, and I'll catch you in Royal Academy.
Yeah. Fun fact about punching holes in ships, and this is probably inappropriate for the recording, but I found it an interesting fact. I saw a TikTok video where someone calculated the amount of tampons that would have been needed to plug the hole in the Titanic to prevent it from sinking, and it was 17,000 tampons would have filled the thing and prevented it from sinking.
That's weirdly less than I thought it would be.
Doesn't sound like a lot.
Yeah.
No,
It's very absorbent.
they must have had 10,000 on that ship already.
Yeah, if everyone would have contributed one or two, then they would have been fine.
Yeah.
They just needed
Everyone
someone to
would have
think outside
stopped
the box.
complaining.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, on that note, I'll wrap up the recording. This is Space episode 105. And then, yeah, we'll be back next week, same time. Thank you, everybody.
Cool. See you later.